But yeah, that thing can't hold a candle to a King Tiger. Heavy mortars, though, still doing a bit of damage, I think. Oh, an easy 8 coming in on the flanking maneuver. Now, like I said, front armor, King Tiger has that thing beat, but on rear armor, easy 8 can easily trounce the King. Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot 17 here bringing you another COH2 replay. This one is brought to you by another one of my Patreon supporters, and I'm just very happy he submitted this, so thank you so very much. I will be saying his name at the end, but if you would like to be one of my Patreon supporters, check out the link down below, access my Patreon, or maybe on one of the little things that pop up above, and you can check out to support me. It's just one of the bonus things that you get, again, slightly higher chance with replays, whether it's $1 to $15, access to live streams, early exclusive art, stuff like that. I try to give as much as away as possible, so that way it's worth the, again, added funds that I get. So thank you again for every single one of you who support me on Patreon. And let's see how this game goes. And also thank you to everyone who submits those replays. By the way, I've gotten tons of replays and moments for my play of the week, which is really cool. I got Doom Trooper, Cancerous Blobber, MCN. Oh god, we have no name. Can't wait to see what I'm gonna get. I don't know that anime character. Damn it, I'm not that true of a weeb. Damn it. I mean, I have a B4 thing right behind me, but I guess I can't do that. So, we'll just call you Chan. There we go, because I don't know what specific Chan it is. So we'll just call it Chan. We have Lil Cooch, Evil Puddle, Blackwater. Great Game of Thrones episode. Game of Thrones has come back tomorrow. I'm so excited. And Maz something. Any case, let's double check their ranks real quick. Remember, rank doesn't matter, but it can define more playtime. Does define like smaller things if you can master the game, like reaction time, unit preservation, stuff like that. Doesn't help you win the game, as I've seen low rank players trounce high rank players, but it's just one more thing to take it to be wary of. Anyway, as we saw, we have 2 American, 2 Soviet versus 3 Wehrmacht, and an OKW. So we'll see how things go. Meanwhile, it looks like the Axis are doing a really great job at holding off this point, so that way the Allies who don't get control of the fuel munitions, fuel and star over in the sector. Unfortunately, the Ostrupen, great on defensive play, but need to be in cover to activate a bonus ability for additional firepower. Unfortunately, the riflemen seem to be overwhelming them and taking out this MG. Volk squads are scaring off the Soviets, but need to come back to help against these American players. Ostrupen not doing that much, but we have additional Ostrupen and Volk squads coming on in. Americans might steal the MG, or the Ostrupen get it back, and they just chill. Awesome. Anyway, yeah, Axis, it seems, will take over the far left, and on the far right, it seems like the Axis will take over this side. Soviet forces are being pushed back. American, though, actually, no, sorry, this is a Soviet player. More focused getting the munitions. He's laying down some mines. Good idea to stop a capture. We have Blackwater going with Ostrupen Doctrine. Literally the Ostrupen Doctrine with Ostrupen. And, yeah, it's okay. I don't mind the large amount of infantry you get from this. If you use it correctly, that's great. The problem I have with this doctrine overall is just the fact that I don't like railway. It's just literally fire one general area, and I find it as long as you move out of the way, you're fine. Sure, it's good against fortifications, but I don't know. I feel like it's too narrow of a focus. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. But hey, if it hits, it hits, and it does a lot of damage. The supply drop is pretty good, though. I'll give it that. The supply, especially for 450 manpower, for getting MG34, a Pack 40, not too shabby. Let's see. Yep, we have a bunker over here. I thought I heard MG, and another MG over here, which is hitting this poor cache that Doom Trooper put down. The Allies are desperately trying to take this line back, but just not really working out. Nice fire grenade pushes back a lot of the Allied forces, because again, they're just burning to death as they charge. Although Molotov cocktail in the bunker is going to take out both those. Oh damn, one squad definitely taken out. Second squad on the retreat. Mass conscript spam. Actually, it looks like the conscript guy on the right, or at least his direction was supposed to be on right, is now focused on left. So we have all the Americans and Soviet forces pushing on left. If they can get through this bunker, they should be able to overwhelm. And it looks like Unfortunately, though, they are blobbing. So this one MG bunker is literally holding back about 8 squads. 2, 4, 6, 7. Well, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, 7 squads, but it's close enough. Mass amounts of Ostroupen are putting in. Panzerjuice is right now flipping out if he's currently watching this. Ostroupen pushing on in, pushing back the conscripts. A lot of them are suppressed, so they're not going to really fight back at all. So the Ostroupen are just going to clean house. But remember, Ostroupen are better in cover. So in all honesty, I think just staying in the heavy cover and firing at range would be a better fight than just walking around with them. Because again, they're better in cover. It's weird. It's very weird. Hold on, I'll hopefully show it once they gain cover so I don't sound like a jackass. Hold on, and stop moving. Oh, oh, damn it, you just got in cover. I was kind of hoping. Meanwhile, on the far left, this Sean's not doing very well. Mostly support equipment or support infantry, not really offensive capabilities, and managing to hold off, not push into the German area. The Germans are locking down this area with a lot of MGs. It looks like we may have some mines being placed over here by the Pioneers or barbed wire. Again, doing very well. Meanwhile, we have a Grenadier squad just walking on in the mid. And we didn't see, with a triple attack on right, we didn't see much headway. So, kind of confused in that regard what the plan is by the Allies. Right now, they are definitely losing. They're not doing too bad in munitions. But overall, if we look at fuel, they are being trounced. So, they need to do something quick. And with the Germans taking more territory, not less, things are not looking good. Though, I will say that MCN is taking over this point, which will allow them more munitions, which should help them at least gain advantage over the Germans. They just need the fuel if they want to actually stay in this fight for a little longer. I know I say that a lot of times the munitions is better, but I do agree, but if the enemy has armor and they are very good with it, it does make the game harder earlier in the game. But if you have the weapon, but the good counter with munitions, especially if you have it, is you can upgrade with bazookas, use AT grenades, stuff like that to really help counteract that light armor. But we'll see what happens. Speaking of armor, it looks like we do have one Doom Troopers deploying one. We have a half-track over here, double Stern Pioneer. They could fire a double Panzerschreck and knock this thing out. Very close to. Holy crap. It is barely hanging on. MG currently suppressing some of the infantry over here. And again, that cache did die, by the way. MG bunker is going to suppress a lot of the infantry. I'm surprised we're not seeing smoke deploy. The rear echelon, by the way, in case you're wondering, can deploy smoke if upgraded. But he doesn't have the upgrade, I guess. Half-track is pulled back, though it does have a decrew, so it can heal. The Soviet player has pushed in, managing to take over this sector. Looks like the minefield, wherever they deployed, didn't really do much. Grenadiers, though, and Scout Car flanking and knocking out the mortar team, which is good. Nice kill. Again, always a plus to knock out some support equipment, and it looks like with the mortar team gone, and really no defense, these Scout Cars, again, like I said, with the early game armor kind of helping, are just going to overwhelm a lot of this guy's forces. He's going to pull on back. He does have an AT gun, so he's going to protect his base against a possible push, but it does kind of suck. Now, with the massive assault going on left, it doesn't look like the Allies are advancing. They managed to push the guys out of here, but this light tank is definitely doing a lot of damage to the Allies, and I'm not seeing any AT in this sector, so this thing is just going to rip apart the infantry. And the problem, especially with riflemen, is you need Vet 1 to get the AT grenade, whereas a conscript squad, once you unlock the ability, they're a Vet 2. And this guy's like, yeah, I'm out. Peace. I can't fight that thing. I'm gone. Now, we do have some better equipment. MCN got the heavy mortar, and we can see here that they've literally doubled up. So Sean and MCN have both gone with heavier infantry, whether mortar, close range, howitzer, etc. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to assume that you guys haven't equipped it with the bazooka. Oh, you have. You just don't have the munitions. Oh, you got it. Okay. Now everyone got bazooka. Why aren't you getting the rear echelon on the bazooka team? Okay. Well, the riflemen now bazooka teams, and they just lit that sucker up. And we can see here that Cancer's Blobber now has an AT gun as well, so he has something. But by all accounts, the Allies are being strangled by the Germans. Right now, again, if we look by their perspective, too aggressive. I mean, maybe a little bit, but Scout Car and stuff like that are still doing pretty damn well. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess he was saying it about his Lukes. Yeah, that's fine. That's a fair assessment. The Lukes did kill an ambulance and kill a lot of infantry, so maybe, I don't know, if you kill a lot of infantry, like, especially if it's like 400 or 500 manpower, that could be worth it. The Lukes itself is only 260, although the fuel, again, 60 fuel, so maybe it's just about even. It just depends on what you consider a victory. A lot of times, if you inflict a lot of casualties in terms of manpower, it can be very good. Meanwhile, this AT gun, along with just the amount of stuff over here, that scout car is just not doing him a lot of damage. Oh, and by the way, while I'm doing this replay, I know a lot of people don't like when I go off topic about certain stuff, but hey, that's just my content. But while this scout car is doing circles around this, oh god, Soviet forces, and literally this mortar is just ripping them to shreds as well, I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, if you are an animation fan, please, please, please go support Leica. They just released The Missing Link, and I hate the fact that it's not doing very well. I really, again, if you have not seen it, it's a fantastic animated movie that literally stars Hugh Jackman and Zach Galifianakis along with Zoe Saldana. It's gorgeous, it's funny, and it's infinitely way better than Hellboy. Or it's about equal, in my opinion, to like Shazam or something. So Shazam's also a good choice, but out of the month, unless you're a big horror fan and really like the Stephen King's Pet Sematary, though I'm hearing mixed things from that as well, I do recommend seeing The Missing Link. It's such a good movie. It's like, again, and it saddens me it's not doing as well. Speaking of not doing well, with the double scout car, well, losses. That's gonna definitely hurt. A shoe over here. I'm sorry, Cooch. Look, I'm not saying that was a bad push, and also, once again, I would say you're doubling up because we have double frag and tiger, but nope, it's different. This one has mortars, this one has a guy that specializes in mortars, this guy has a plane ability, this guy has a plane ability, recon and AT strafe, so a little different. This one has a support function for armor, this one has a support function to get armor and get resources. Very similar doctrines, honestly. The spearhead and the assault support, but they do slightly different things. This one's a lot more of the resource game with munitions. Blackwater says, what the fuck? I'm actually curious. What? I guess, oh shoot, they actually, they got around. Nice. The American forces finally overwhelmed him. Nice. Well, again, eventually, if you have enough, like, mortar support, like, these heavy mortars are just devastating. So probably that and everything else. Yeah, they probably ripped him to shreds. No wonder. So right now, remember, we have two allied armies over here. Possibly three with this guy. No, he's probably going to focus more mid. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, as well, we have the allies pushing far left, doing very well. And also, we can see our mods would breakthrough, so a Yag Tiger. So we got 3 heavy tanks they can deploy, a counter for fortifications. We have lots of artillery on the allied side. Oh god, not another one. Although Cancerous Blob and Rifle Company, so, you know, better advanced medium tanks. Doom Trooper, please, for the love of God, don't go Infantry Company. Like, I've had enough games with Infantry Company. Whether they get released or not, I've had enough. Panzer IV, though, pushing in. Again, remember, the Axis have had a majority of the fuel for a good portion of the game. So, right, and now they're actually still pouring down more caches, so they're still getting a ton of fuel. So the problem is, though, remember, the Allies still have AT, and they have a lot of AT, so we'll see how effective that is. Now, where's that American Blob? Is this still back at base? Okay, American Blob's still back at base. All right. That being said, I wouldn't count the Germans out yet. They still have a bunch of Volk squads on standby. Oh, and by the way, remember those scout cars, stuff like that? They are still light armor, so bullets still affect them. So a lot of these support equipment, stuff like that. Oh my god, another one just bit the dust. Oh, those poor scout cars. The infantry guns that are on the support equipment will still do damage to light armor. A lot of people forget that. But yeah, the support equipment, secondary guys will do damage. Now, he's trying to push on in, but as we can see, they're able to hold the line. I guess Thermoffs are giving them a slight boost. So this unit will be inspired to fight harder. You know, a little bit better. So that's cool. Manages to push on in. Counteract, push them back. Very nice. Meanwhile, Panzer IV pushing on in. Managed to push the Soviet player back. So at the very least, we can see right now that the left-hand side is going to be under Axis control. So right now, what the Axis need to do is focus mid and hold right. I don't think the Axis will be able to counterattack Ostrupen, even though with the MG42s. You can see here, by the way, Austrian more accurate when firing from cover. There he goes. So, yeah. It's best put me cover. Excuse me. But, it's a roving blob, literally. Do you have grenades? I would say a good grenade here could be very effective. Although the MG42s are just shredding a lot of that stuff. Though, no grenades currently being thrown. You have plenty of, and I do mean plenty of munitions. Oh, great mortar hit. Knocks out Ostrupen squad. There, I think he was at 5. Now he's down to 3. A grenade being thrown. Oh, this could be good. Oh, great grenade there. Amazing grenade there. And another one bots dust. Another one goes. Another one goes. Another one bots dust. That's 3 Ostrupen squads literally defeated. Yeah, they're good early game. And the MG42 give them a slight. But Jesus Christ, if you think they're a roving blob of death like Ostrupen, sorry, Obosodaten, you are sadly mistaken. Meanwhile, the bazooka team from hell came in, and already the Panther's half dead. And that's front armor hits, too. So, that's 8 bazookas. Man, it reminds me of the good old days where the Rashalons would have bazooka blobs, or bar blobs. You forget about those bar blobs, but the Rashalon bar blobs were quite interesting. Meanwhile, double Panzer IV. No AT on this front, so they're going to easily be pushed back. MG42 as well, hurting that little guy. We still have an MG over here. A lot of equipment that can be decrewed right now. But yeah, the Panzer IV easily makes quick work of them. Again, they're just trying to decap the point. Right now, you're wasting a lot of manpower, though, doing it. I don't think it's worth it. And where was that? Where was that smoke grenade? Like, I don't know, 30 seconds ago. You have enough munitions. Like, I can say the one thing is the Allies had enough munitions for quite some time. This guy is 500 munitions. He has plenty to do that. Now he has an AT gun moving in to counter. Good for him. Panzer IV still trying to overwhelm that MG, so his Grenadiers will be fine, but that AT gun is ripping him asunder. Bazooka team now moving in. Fires a mass bazooka, and there goes Panzer IV. Now we're seeing a lot of that armor that the the Axis thought would just win him the game. Not working. Absolutely not working. It's not helping. Also, although half track burning a lot of the conscripts. AT gun though. Oh, remaneuvered. Never mind. It's not there. This flamethrower could kill that infantry. It really could. MG's over here. It's gonna shred that guy. That guy in the front's gone. Yep, there it goes. Oh my God, there goes 2 squads. So at least the Allies are taking some hits. Although that bazooka blob, dear Lord, it's doing wonders. So it's not. It's taking casualties. It's definitely not doing well. It's anti-armor, but remember, it's not anti-infantry. So if the Axis really want to, they could get a bunch of, well, Grenadiers with MG42s like this and just focus fire on them, and that might do pretty well. Meanwhile, we have looks like almost a mine place, but alas, probably got killed. A major possible Allied assault coming in through, sorry, Axis assault coming in this way. Another mine, though, cripples the Panther. Did not see that. Heavy mortars on standby. So this thing is pulling on back. Being hit by AT grenades, though, surrounded by a large blob, mortar teams could come down on it and definitely do a lot of damage. We shall see. Panther trying desperately to hold the line. A lot of folk squads coming on in. Rifleman trying to hold. Loses 1 squad. Nice grenade. Inflicts damage on 2. This one needs to fall back, though. He's otherwise going to lose it. Oh, my God. So close. So close to killing that thing. He does! Long-range AT shot with the AT gun. And neutralizes it. He'd even activate the special ability to take aim, which increases sight even further. With the Panther gone, the Germans are in full retreat, realizing they do not have the armor to push up anymore with the MGs still in the sector. And now, oh God, now the Allies are coming back with armor. It's finally time for the Allied armor to come in. We have an Easy 8, which is pretty much a boosted Sherman. It's like a Sherman on steroids. Not a heavy tank, but dear Lord, it'll still do a lot of damage to you. Now, and again, a King Tiger can still, or Panther can still technically fight it head-on because of it get bouncing shells on the front. But Easy 8s are still nothing to sneeze at. You need to watch it out for them, like a T-34-85. Meanwhile, Axis forces still holding in this sector. We have a Panzerwerfer strike. I'm assuming against the blob of mortars over here. Okay. It is, but it does miss. Recon's currently over mid, so they're trying to identify those targets. Again, no AA by the Allies. I think they did. Yeah, you did have an anti-air gun, but alas, it got blown up. So, yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes it says, oh boy. Now you probably want to get another one so the Germans don't just keep reconning you. But anyway, this has been a great counter. Oh my God, there goes a cache. This Oh my god, the mechanized base could die right now. There's so many bazooka teams instantly KO'd. Now we have white phosphorus coming down. Oh shoot, that's a good spot. I like that spot because right now they have to literally go through the white phosphorus to enter the battlefield. And if the riflemen still there are literally firing through as these infantry squads are coming in, meaning all these squads are just barely alive. Now strafing support coming in, so that's going to cause a plane to suppress all of them, which again gives the Axis some help. But that being said, Maz is pushed back. Like, Maz has been hammered right now. And so is Blackwater. Blackwater's not in a good scenario either. He lost a Panther. He's down to a Panzer IV. He has some Ostrupen, but he's mostly now fighting in mid, where the Allies are really not that strong. AT guns are on the line. We have a Panzer IV pushing on in, pushing on in, but the AT guns will easily push that thing back. Those should priority on armor would probably be a good idea. We do have a decapture over here, and looks like they're trying to kill the scout car, though I don't think they're gonna do it. Yeah, the Pioneer Squad's gonna... Sorry, the Engineer Squad's gonna die. This thing, as long as it's healed, should be okay. Though the Mortar Team, which I'm assuming is... No, there's no Mortar Team anywhere nearby, so I guess they're fine. Scout car... That supply car does need healed, though. Big ally attack in mid. Shock Troops could be better if they close the range or gap, but 2 Shock Troop squads falling back. Both of them barely alive. Another Panzerwerfer gets both squads on retreat. Nice shot, little Cooch. Getting them on getting on the retreat, though. AT gun missing the shot. Really, if it's the Panzerwerfer, could be a KO moment. Fortunately, does not. Panzerwerfer is able to pull on back. But again, that could have been a great shot with that Panzerwerfer. Well, to kill it. Although Easy 8, though, looking to fire at it, looks like loses sight once again. Pulls on back. Meanwhile, on far left, we have another infantry blob, though not really in the lines of a lot of AT, so it's just simply going to fall back and be relatively fine. Sorry, my cat, if you're wondering why I keep maneuvering, my cat's underneath me, and she literally pinned my foot, so it was like falling asleep. I'm like, cat, please. Yeah, so more about me, you know, in case you want to know. I have a cat, in case you haven't seen the live streams. She's adorable, and she's can be a bit of a jackass, but still, she's great. Meanwhile, the Allies managing to retake mid. Axis having a firm grip over this game. Now on the back foot in terms of resources, which with the Allies, as we can see, have majority of the points now. The capture points as well, so now they're ticking time clock against the Germans, so Germans have a comfortable lead, so they should be relatively fine. Population-wise, Germans are easily in the probably upper 50s, probably 60 would probably be a good general marker. While the Allies are probably equally upper 50s, so it's very close. I wouldn't say one is definitively higher than the other. And the Allies putting a lot of pressure right now. And Panzerwerfer missing the blob. This Panzer Force coming over. Oh, shoot! That's a good Panzerwerfer hit, killing a squad, reducing the other one down. Only half the men. Another squad is down. This Panzerwerfer, again, missing. Again, I'm assuming they thought it would retreat after it fired. Might be able to get a third squad. Without the NG-42, just didn't have the anti-infantry fighting power. Easy 8, though, putting a lot of pressure on him. AT grenades going on out. That Panzer Force barely alive. If he swung around, he could probably kill it, but that would be a bit of a risk. We do have a King Tiger on left, so the Germans aren't out of the woods yet. Although we have an AT gun over here, which will do some damage. Shock troops, I don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming throwing a grenade, but it's on the Sturmofficer, not too much damage going off there. AT gun still opening fire. Well, heavy mortar as well hitting it, and actually doing quite a bit of damage. This AT gun needs to redeploy. Actually, holy god, there's double mortar right now. That one bounced. But the King Tiger is advancing, knocking out one AT gun. This one needs to redeploy to open fire. Half-track could open fire, and at least they have an anti-air gun now. But yeah, that thing can't hold a candle to a King Tiger. Heavy mortars, though, still doing a bit of damage, I think. Oh, and Easy 8 coming in on the flanking maneuver. Now, like I said, front armor, King Tiger has that thing beat, but on the rear armor, Easy 8 can easily trounce the King. But the problem is, Easy 8 did not keep advantage. He should have stayed behind. Now he's not penetrating. We have something coming in. I think that's white phosphorus, maybe? Hold on. Let's see what that is. No, I apologize. It's a cervix strike. So we have planes coming in. Now, they are trying to kill it, but he's not firing from the rear anymore. So he's hitting the front. He keeps bouncing. That's the thing. These Yates have a hard time penetrating Panther and or King Tiger front armor. So that's something you really have to watch out for. If they would have killed the King, the Axis would have been on the back foot, but they did inflict heavy casualties and they did push it back. So he's not done. He's not in a great position though. Meanwhile, the the Axis are pushing up with a bunch of Panzer IVs. Additional AT is needed in the sector. Easy 8, another one coming on in. Panzer IV is going to have a problem, especially with the bazooka teams on standby. If he keeps them there, he might lose the Panzer IV. He will lose the Panzer IV. Yeah, also, once again, we have double... wait, did they really go double-double? They went double-double. We have a double trouble commander focus. Okay. Meanwhile, we have a small blob of Grenadiers in mid. Though, again, they're not going to really last long with that tank there. It's just going to do a lot of damage, as we currently can see. Axis also need to watch out because, again, a deep strike could damage Kush's Panzerwerfer's support vehicles and a lot of other support vehicles they have scattered about. Frag bomb seems to have come down, maybe hurt a little bit. I'm not seeing much in terms of casualties. Big blob over here by Maz. Again, need to watch out for that because, once again, if they keep it in such close proximity, a T-34 running through could easily kill all of them. So you need to watch out for that. You don't blob, spread out units, you don't get run over. Which, once again, if you're ever in a zombie apocalypse, I don't see an issue in this, as long as you protect the windshield, of just running over zombies with a car, or hell, a tank. Just lure them up on Main Street, lure them all there, and run them over. I'm still, like, but yeah, I you know, that's just me. And by the way, that's not my idea for doing that. That literally is a thing that the Holy Religious Russian State, I believe it's called, or something. The Russian state did when they literally, or in World War Z, when they literally, essentially Russia fell and a religious group in Russia popped up. And yeah, so it's essentially another version of a communist-like party. Just instead of atheist or like communism being it, they're more focused on religious practices. But in any case, essentially they get a bunch of old Soviet weapons from World War II and just run over zombies with them. Good grenade right there, inflicting damage on the Panzer IV and the Ostroupen, though the heavy mortars are in the support equipment just in general, taking a lot of damage. We have Chan leaving. Not sure why. It's late enough in the game, I'm not going to just end this replay and be like, alright, that was a waste. But I will take note that the Allies are currently winning and have been doing a lot of damage. Nice Swordpick strike pushing back the Grenadiers. Tiger and Panther. Again, right now we're at a turning point. So either way, and as well, this guy's been mostly on right and has been doing not that much. So, again, kind of a mixed bag there. Nice shot with the AT gun, though, by the AI. Tiger's coming into mid. Again, they do need to focus AT fire over there. Big old blob on left. Again, maybe a good counterattack over here is needed. Shock troops going after the mortar. A lot of troops right here. Maybe a two-pronged counterattack. We have assault artillery coming in. Great use of it, by the way, since the Allies were so close to this point. Wait, is it? Yeah, I was going after this point. Okay. Cool. They're hanging a lot of Allied forces. Now smoke's coming down, obscuring their view. Brumbar's opening fire. If he uses direct fire, could probably keep hitting these targets rather well. AT gun having trouble penetrating. That's why you probably want to activate the additional ability for further penetration. We have the Allied player, the AI coming in on right. And yeah, they're pushing it pretty deep. They're actually managing to take over the heavy mortar stuff. King Tiger, though, pushing on in. We have American forces on standby, equipped with some German equipment as well, which is pretty funny. Yeah. Looks like they're trying to choke point the Germans so that way they can neutralize them. And it seems to be working out pretty damn well. But right now, they have to rely on MCN to guard mid. And so far, he's not doing a great job. He does a lot of fuel, but not a lot of manpower. And right now, he doesn't have a lot of men in general. So mid could be a point of contention. Now, we can see here we have something coming down. That would be a frag bomb. This could be pretty big. Frag bomb comes down, gets shot down by the AA immediately. One of the two AT guns. And, yeah, it's stuck, so it's going to die. White Phosphorus coming down perfectly on that blob. And also blocking the vision of the the King Tiger. So, not really helping out. American Blob coming on in. Remember, this Blob is the one focused on anti-armor, though as we can see, they've definitely lost some men over time. And the Panzer IV, I'm sorry, King Tiger very smartly is pulling on back. They do have a Brumbar, which is a good idea to help fight the infantry blobs that have been causing so much hell for the Germans. That MG there as well, providing suppressive fire against all the infantry, so they can't really get a clean shot. Yeah, that thing needs to pull back immediately. Though, again, nice flanking maneuver on this guy, though they could now focus fire on this rifling squad, so yeah. Good shot right there. Again, nice artillery shots. Grenadiers on standby in mid. Allies trying a full charge. And actually, I didn't even notice this. He has he has 4 Shermans. Oh my god, yes. We're going to see an allied charge right now. It's going to be great. Oh! Damn! Okay, that was a good railway. That killed a good shot. That killed all of his blob. That was a lot of forces down. Now he's charging into the railway. Not a smart idea. Usually when I say railway's not great, it's usually because the enemy doesn't charge into it. Nice explosive rounds, though. Causing a lot of damage to those Grenadiers. And the Allied Shermans are just going to wreck house against the Germans and just maneuver on through. Now, with that full retreat, it's not entirely all negative for the Germans. They still have a large infantry/armor force on standby that they can counteract with. So we'll see what happens. Plus, if we look, middle is now under their control, even though right is currently kind of falling apart. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Kush really has that great of offensive capability, so it looks like the one thing that MCN is doing is kind of spamming shock troops, which is probably why he's not getting a lot of manpower, is because he's using so much of it to just pump out heavy infantry, and the cost to bring it back out is staggering. That's like, what was it? One statistic people always point out is like, well, if the Germans didn't have to fight the British, they wouldn't have to deploy all the U-boats. So that would have been, with all the production they would have put in the U-boats, that would have been 6,900 tigers, King Tigers they could deploy to kill Russia. And with over 6,000 King Tigers, they would have won the game. No, it's not like that. And by the way, that metric is bullshit. Wait. Oh, shit! Oh my god, Evil Poodle, the guy in mid, is now an AI. So the AI is just going to go buck wild in mid. So now that changed everything. A, the AI is just going to go crazy. So expect this tiger to die very soon. But B, yeah, it's just going bad. Also, the British would never have surrendered to the Germans. Unless a very weak-willed person would have went in there, which there were a few, especially in 1940, in May and June, who were like, maybe we should surrender. Most people were like, no, we need to continue this fight. I think we can do something. And well, yeah, they may not have been winning in Europe, but freaking Africa and everything else, like, they were trouncing the Axis. Just look at the casualties in the North African campaign, especially in 1940. Great. Anyway, Cervix Strike coming on in, hitting the Blob, which was coming on right. I guess they decided to push through another sector that was weaker against an AI. That said, did not work. Panzerwerfer died. Infantry suppressed. Not looking all that great, honestly. Su-85 as well, just doing a little bit of shindig. Just going back and forth. Again, this is AI, by the way. Double Cervix Strike. There's 4 planes of the Soviet type overhead. Holy mackerel. Meanwhile, on far left, we can see here Cancerous is just barely trying to hold this sector. Has a ton of AT guns moving on up. Although, not all of them are going to the sector he really needs them for right now. Although, he has at least... Oh, nope, there one goes. Damn it, could have really pushed that sucker back. Anyway, really nice plane hit over the area. We have a nice big blob of German forces. Remember, some of them is AI, so they may not react as amazing as some people would like them to. Big push by the Shermans over here, but again, not really supported by much infantry. We've had multiple German casualties across the board, but a lot of these guys are equipped with anti-infantry explosive rounds, not anti-armor, so not doing all that much, the German armor. They're doing a lot for light armor and the infantry, but they needed their additional blob or something to come in. Meanwhile, we have 3 dead Shermans, aircraft falling from the sky. It's not looking all that great. They might lose a 4th one. Again, spot rounds currently firing, and they're doing damage. Easy 8 coming in, a little late on that regard. At least 2 Shermans got out of the 5 that charged, but none, I repeat, like, no major German armor died in that push. It looked great, but those Shermans were just, yeah, they lacked the wrong, they've had the wrong rounds on. That could have been devastating, especially if that could have been devastating if the AT guns moved up as well in tandem with infantry support. That would have sealed the deal. That could have been the end-all be-all for the British. Oh, sorry, for the Axis. Anyway, Tiger opening fire. And yeah, not sure what this guy's doing with it, with this Easy 8. But the Stoogs are coming on in, and that thing is pretty much lunch meat for them. So yeah, it's yeah, say goodbye. At least I did get my wish. Neither one of them went with the infantry company, so that's still a positive. But one thing I will say though, unfortunately, is 1AI Sean doing okay. Good job with the anti-air. Well, unless he's doing that. Freaking guys, turn one of the AT guns. My God. But yeah, both Evil Poodle and the other and Sean are AIs are okay. They're at least helping clear up territory. Cervix Strike coming in, but once again, not really doing much against armor. So not sure what exactly is going on there. Big push on left. Double Stoogs advancing. Smoke being dropped. Smart idea again, especially with this guy pulling on back. Again, he's knocking out coverage. Smoke. Not really blocking the view right there, so the Stoogs can keep opening fire, though they're far enough back to where they're okay. So that's the far left-hand side that's been completely crippled. Middle is under AI control. Right, Kush is still watching, though he's getting a lot more frontline men, so that's at least positive, plus more armor to break through right. Allies on the back foot right now. Although it's equal, I would say it's equal with AIs, though I will say, wow, Doom Trooper. I will say this, you have a lot of men, so, yeah, you could easily get AT guns. You have 1,500 manpower almost. Come on, man. Get some AT guns. Do something. Fight. But, yeah, bulk squad's coming on in against that Easy 8. We still have some crew, but nothing to hold back that at close range. So, yeah, this is actually a good plan by Moss to focus on a different front. It definitely has been helping. It has absolutely been helping. Meanwhile, the Allies are probably not going to hold out very well. This AT gun's for some reason charging. This guy has so many shock troops. But the problem is he's not deploying them all at the same time. So they're going in piecemeal and just being... They're doing okay, but usually in a big blob or in a group that coordinating very well, they'll do a lot more damage. Nice bundle grenade, really doing damage on that. Easy 8, at least getting some kills, but having additional MG would be great. King Tiger going after the damage. Easy 8, though, it's very easily going to get overwhelmed. Yep. And the forces push back. Meanwhile, these guys are kind of on standby. Bazooka team coming in. They're at least going to try to kill the bunker before the MG's made. Though, again, as we can see here, just a little bit of artillery and he retreats the whole thing. Although he could have probably just retreated one and got the other two just fine, but... Oh, well. AT gun trying to hold the line, but just not going to be able to. Too much tank fire right there. Easily going to break it. Again, King Tiger is good against all targets. 26 kills, not bad. And, again, both of them equipped with MG42, so that increases anti-infantry effectiveness even more. AT gun hitting it from the side, which, again, getting some good shots there. Though it looks like we have a Cervix Strike coming in. But once again, I will state this, Cervix Strike, not going to do all that much to armor. It'll definitely do something against infantry, but don't expect it to hurt armor at all. Though this thing is barely alive. They really need to heal that. AI deploying SU-76, God knows why, against the Tiger. I get it, long range it's fine or when there's something there. But yeah, this thing needs to keep itself back if it wants to live. Meanwhile, the entire left-hand side, it's pretty much fortified. I don't expect the Germans to really lose this sector. We do have a lot of Easy 8s, and again, he does have the huge bazooka blob, so maybe if used effectively, he could break that up. And it does actually seem like the other allied players, even the AI, are following suit and like, yeah, we should focus over here. Unfortunately, this T-34, if it charges into this, would instantly die from the Stoogs. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it could turn out well. Probably not, but it could. Panzer IV, definitely dying from the AT gun. At least Cancerous Blob managed to do a quicker reaction time in that battle. T-34 hiding behind the cover. Okay. Anti-air gun needs healed, although it's gotten up to bet 3, which is pretty damn good. Now we have a big old battle. Unfortunately, again, long-range fair, Stooks are going to win. This is where they would be good for the Shermans to deploy smoke, so the infantry can close the gap. Now, does he have any MGs? He does not. So yeah, that would be perfect. He should have deployed smoke so his infantry would advance without the Brumbar doing this and hurting 3 squads. Though a lot of squads are dying. Nice Brumbar hit once again, hitting multiple squads because they're all blobbed up together. Shock troops going out with the grenade, not sure why. The Shermans had to pull back again. If you had deployed smoke close to gap, break the line with the Shermans, go around, use them to open fire against the infantry. One against the AT gun, the other 2 against the armor, and have the bazooka teams literally come out and AT grenade all the armor and stuff like that. You could have broke that entire line, especially with the shock troops right there. They could have helped clean up a lot of the other miscellaneous stuff in the sector. So very surprised, honestly. Shock troops again, good shot there. AA gun, again, shooting down some planes, at the very least. At least they have an anti-air gun to stop with the Sturmvik strikes and the recon and whatnot. AT guns open fire on the King Tiger. Jackson now on the field. Looks like he's done with the Easy 8s. Though, again, he has really not much left. Panzerwerfer coming down, doing a lot of damage right here. King Tiger, if he focuses there, probably is going to wipe out most of his men. Yep, there we go. Jackson trying to do damage, but not much left. I don't see this fight lasting too much longer for the Allies. They had an amazing comeback, and I feel like if the AI didn't leave, they would have won. And that's why I don't like AI games, because as we saw in that field, they were doing so well with their coordination. They started losing a little bit. Once that AI definitely came in, that really messed them up. I will give, well, 26 kills. Very nice. And again, the Blob is back in town. He saved up and got enough men. Good for him. Now this Blob's kind of moving on in. They have really no MGs in the sector. So if this Blob literally all opens fire on this Ostwind, I think it's going to die. Yep, there it goes. Unfortunately, with the Volk squads there, they are very good against anti-infantry, so they're just going to do a ton of damage. He just needed something to really, hammer that. And I think that's why he got the Shermans with explosive rounds. So as you can see, they just fire in quick succession and kill everything. Unfortunately, with the bazooka teams right now, he needs something else to kind of take the damage, because these things are honestly the anti-armor, while the Shermans are the anti-infantry, which means he probably needs to deploy the Shermans closer so they can mow him down. Though it looks like the Shermans did a ton of damage versus the Volk squads. And really nice railgun. Again, great placement with that thing. That's the second time it's hit these guys on the retreat. So, again, just making sure they just can't retreat at all. Very good. Nice shot with the Jackson, pushing back the Panzer IV. Though, as we can see here, Panzer IVs are just coming in on the flank now from the AI. And, yeah, we have 8 points remaining. The Allies, unfortunately, just can't keep fighting. They've done a great job. The Allies did a great job in this fight. And once again, I want to thank my Patreon supporter, Lil Koosh, for submitting this replay. Cancer's Blob, Jesus Christ, tons of damage there. And again, I would say a lot of that was from his Easy 8s and a lot of his good infantry moving up, but he did take a lot of losses. Same thing with Doom Trooper and MCN. The Allies in general just lost so many men in those pushes, but eventually they did turn the tide, and I thought they could win that. I really did. Evil Poodle was the best, well, the most kills, which is hilarious because he was the AI. He was fighting more in mid, so again, definitely doing a great job in that regard. Moss was on the far left, and with his Volk squads and King Tiger, he was a close second on kills, 1 on damage, and I absolutely see why. His King Tiger and Panther and whatnot did a ton, and he really did do a lot of damage to the Allies. Koosh did okay. Definitely didn't take as many losses, though, again, his front, he mostly contained very well with bunkers and whatnot, so the Allies were very rarely able to really push on this front very well. Most of the time, the Germans did a pretty damn good job at holding it, so good job in that regard. But overall, the big thing was the Germans made sure the Allies could not run away. They just killed them on their retreat, which is hilarious, because usually it's like the enemy will not retreat, but the Allies were retreating, they just couldn't get them back. Also, some of the armor plays were weird. Again, Doom Trooper was great, but having armor versus infantry and infantry versus armor can be effective if used properly, especially if you close the gap. The problem is he just wasn't using smoke very well. Or actually sprint. I am actually surprised he didn't use sprint to kind of rush his troops up and then fire point blank or flank around the Austrian, because once again, remember, that all this stuff's here. He could flank around this way. So there's always like different angles you can take stuff at. I'm surprised he didn't try to do that. But yeah, let's see. Moss did pretty good. Again, with his infantry and armor, though, again, infantry did a little better unit preservation-wise. Blackwater, Jesus Christ. Again, your Osttroop spam did okay, and I think you didn't do that great this game. No, I mean, you definitely one of the worst out of the Germans. Not the best, but number 3rd. But yeah, you lost a lot of men early on. You came back a little bit. Your Stoop gameplay was pretty damn good, and the Brumbar was a great choice. But in any case, it was good. Kush, you had a good overall defensive army. You didn't really need to press up, and most of the time you did lose some units, but overall I think you did okay, especially putting pressure on the right. Let's see. Once again, Cantress, Blob, and Doom Trooper, you guys did very well with your troops. Unit preservation wise, it just didn't last. Sean was kind of the weakest link, I think. He did okay, but he never was really able to really keep us. Every time he did a push, I always saw like this is gonna fail by this, like the scout cars flanking, and they did. So that's kind of like MCN was okay, though. I think the over reliance on the shock troops really screwed you over, man. Shock troops are good, but if you use them as spam, it's such a heavy burden on your manpower. And as you saw, he just didn't have the manpower to get armor. He just kept using them to replenish his infantry, and that kind of cost him as well. But that's my thoughts on the game. Tell me what you guys think down below. But this has been Greyshot17. I'll see you all. Hello, everyone. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, WhiteHotD, Toussaint, Streakingwookie, SgtMcPain, Sebastian, Rifle, PyroShark, Onlyplayapples, LeShoe, Just Play Thomas, jrchicklis, JP Vaal, Josh, Joey G, Chofo, Chris Bailey, Ace, Tim, Nathan Angus, Leonard Liu, Jordan Savat, and Aaron Yee. Thank you all for your amazing support. You're all incredible. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time.